We were talking about how high the stakes were for President Biden yesterday. He wanted to give this news conference to show everybody that he's got his mental acuity. How did it go?
For the news conference, we saw some of the very good and some of the problems as well. We had that stumble out of the gate, mistaking Vice President Harris and calling her Vice President Trump. But he spoke for nearly an hour for subjects that range from Russia to the Hamas war to tax code. So there was a great level of detail, and there were stumbles as well. I think if people were looking for things that were encouraging, they could find them. If they're looking for troubles in there, they could probably find them as well. It was a very high stakes news conference where everything was under scrutiny. And it looks like this is the type of thing that's going to be going forward with the public appearances for Biden from here on out.
And in terms of how the reception has been, again, yesterday we were talking about an increasing number of voices within the Democratic Party putting pressure on Biden to think about stepping down. What has been the reaction since this press conference? Have more people come out and started to say a similar thing?
Yeah, I think almost immediately after the news conference ended, I think there were three Democratic lawmakers who joined the bandwagon asking for him to step down. And we're seeing some meetings going on at very high levels. There's been some reporting that perhaps President Obama may be involved, former President Obama may be involved. And you have the leaders of the party in the Congress, Minority Leader former leader House Speaker Pelosi, Senate Leader Schumer, and Hakeem Jeffries, current Minority Leader in the House, all weighing in on this or looking to get in. So the lawmakers are showing that they are concerned. We have more joining the calls for him to step down, and we also have people who are standing by by Biden as the nominee for the Democratic Party.
Yeah. I mean, it just feels like it's yet another event where the summit itself or the event itself has been completely overridden by the conversations about the mental state and acuity and physical ability of President Biden. But what have been some of the other major developments from the NATO meeting?
The main thing was to just show the importance of this alliance on its 75th anniversary. It's been one of the most successful military alliances in modern history. It's been called on to do so much more now because of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Ukrainian President Zelensky was there seeking support. He was also seeking an invitation for his country to eventually join NATO, which didn't come. In lieu of that, he received more support militarily for a long-range air defense systems, a plan to provide for the military for several years down the road. He also had meetings with various people, leaders who could tell him what they could and couldn't do. So that was part of it. Also, this was a firm stand against Russia that came out of the meeting. There were also some tough language towards China as well. Some of the hardest language that's come out of NATO directly looking at China, talking about it being an enabler for Russia's war in Ukraine.